Hi, so I want to talk about the Seven Habits book today. We start with the first chapter itself, or I can just speak about the principles and values. Because before the first chapter, there's like a whole different section on what the whole book is based on. The habits are not the main content of the book actually. They might occupy a lot of space in the book, but to be honest, they're not the main content. The author tries to make something very clear in the first few pages of the book itself that there's a way to live actually, and that way to live consists of abiding by principles. Now, what are principles? Principles are like guiding intuitive things in our lives. Suppose we have a principle called honesty. If you're a honest person, good things might happen to you. Bad things maybe too, because that I'll get to later. But the thing is, this whole book is patient character development. Character is not the same thing as making a good first impression. Actually, character will never be able to help you make a first good impression on anybody. But in the long run, after two or three meetings, or maybe three or five meetings, that character is there. That character, it will show up, and that will leave a very good impression on them, whoever it is you have in your life. Character helps people realize your true potential through repeated interactions with them. So the thing is, when I was in rehab, I finished that book like in the first 3 months, I finished it a lot of times, back and forth. I would read the whole book, and it was such an amazing experience for me because without the book, I could not have gained the strength, mental resilience I have now. That book will help you how to figure out what your values are in life, what you value. See, myself, particularly you, I'm a video gamer. I like to play video games and I like to read books. So, if I know these things, that might not be enough in real life. So, if you want it to be enough in real life, you have to make others understand that that part of you. And that's what the Seven Habits book is about. It will help you figure out on a deeper scale and deeper level who you are as a person and why you are that person, who you are as a person, and why you have chosen to be that person. The why, it will explain the why is a lot. When I read that book the first time, I actually understood nothing. It is filled with, because I thought it was filled with jargon and lots of deep introspective ideas. But during that 2 3 month phase, I came to realize on a whole deeper level my true nature and my true character, my true ethics and my true behavior. And then I realized, oh, this is how it is. That's what character is about. See, see, I'll tell you one thing. If you read this book once, you won't understand anything. Just like me. I can guarantee it, I can promise you that. You have to devote a lot of time to it. Character building. Because character building is not quick fix like the author says. It's really not quick fix. It takes a lot of genuine hard work and, you know, time devotion to develop character in your life. What are the advantages of having character even? Who cares, right? Well, the thing is, if you have character in your life, you will be able to withstand the different challenges that come around your way. Somebody might be somebody might be abusing you on the street. தெருல யாரு தெருல யாரு abuse பண்றாங்க. You might get angry. Or if you have character, if you know who you are, and you know you'd never react back to such a person, you just walk away. That's just one example of so many more examples. And Uh, you know that uh, who is he? Stephen Covey, right? So Stephen Covey actually got inspiration to write this book based on Viktor Frankl. Now, who was Viktor Frankl? Viktor Frankl was a psychiatrist and a Jew, and he was imprisoned in the Nazi death camps. But he learned things so repugnant to a sense of decency that he was very affected and he was very, very upset. So Stephen Covey basically, um, when he read the story, he was fascinated. And there's one line in Viktor Frankl's book that lit up the whole world of Stephen Covey, and that was this: between every stimulus and response, man has the freedom to choose his response. That's amazing. Viktor Frankl discovered this in Nazi death camps. You can imagine so many researchers have done so many experiments on rats, dogs, cows, dogs. I mean, you know Pavlov's experiments, right? So Pavlov had basically conditioned a dog by first giving it a particular stimulus while another stimulus is presented, and he tried to make a connection between the two, more apparent to the dog. The dog was served food while the bell was rung. Over time, both these events, over time, this was repeated many times. And then what happened? One day, the researchers did not give the dogs food, but they gave the dogs, let the dogs hear the bell. Guess what? The dogs salivated to the bell. They thought they're going to get food. That's stimulus, and that's called conditioning, actually. I know all these things because I'm a psychology student, but so that's called stimulus. So that's called conditioning, sorry, conditioning. And the thing is, Stephen Covey in his book said that conditioning can be broken. We can learn from our own mistakes and from the mistakes of others. We don't have to let ourselves be conditioned by the environment, by other people, by the surrounding, by different influences in our lives. We can choose our responses and who we want to be. That's why this book is a must read, because if you don't read this book, you'll never be able to truly become yourself. You'll never be able to truly be you. It takes a lot of character, it takes a lot of difficult introspection to come to this point in the book. Sorry, to come to this point in your life when no matter what is happening on the environment, you're able to ignore it and just continue on living with it normally. While I was at the rehab center, before I went there, I willingly gave up my laptop and phone just to figure out a way to defeat my illness. I have schizophrenia, and schizophrenia is really, really bend, bends me, man. It really bends me. And I know it bends me because back then, every day was just so difficult. Every day was very difficult. But when I read the Seven Habits book, that's what I came to realize on a very deep level, on a very intimate level, who I am as a person and how I can master the tools to beat my illness. Trust me. When I came out of that rehab center, a single sign couldn't touch me, man. Those twitching sensations I had, they didn't affect me anymore. They just came and went by. I didn't even take notice of them. My resilience had grown so much, and I was able to interact very well with people because I knew on a deeper level how to interact very well. That's also in the Stephen Covey's book. Like Stephen Covey's book, there's like the first three chapters are devoted to in- like dev- independent development, and more importantly on who you are as a person. That's what the first three chapters are about. Easier terms. On the first three chapters are about who you are as a person. The next three chapters are interdependent. Like they help you prepare yourself to deal with others. And the last chapter, the seventh habit, that helps you to stay in touch with yourself. It's an amazing book. You have to read it. You must. All right, then. That's it. I'll close the video recording now. If you like what you learned in this video, please do like and comment. I'll post another video tomorrow. Alright, see ya.